Ever been scrolling through your phone and suddenly get that awful, sinking feeling that you were just so far behind in life? Have you ever been there? It's say 10:30 p.m. You're finally in bed, winding down, just doing that one, last, scroll through your phone before you go to sleep. And that's when you see it. Bam. Your old coworker, the one who always microwaved fish in the break room, just posted photos from their 2-week vacation in Italy. First class, Michelin star restaurants, looking like a movie star. You keep scrolling. Someone you vaguely knew in high school just bought their first house. It's got a porch swing. You scroll again. A 22-year-old on TikTok is explaining their simple $15 million portfolio and the 3 mansions they just flipped. And just like that, it hits you. That cold, sinking feeling in your chest. That little voice that whispers, "Wow, I am so far behind." This is the everyone's ahead illusion. It's this agonizing feeling that you're stuck in the slow lane, maybe even parked on the side of the road, while everyone else is just zooming past you in a shiny new sports car. It feels like somehow everyone else got a secret handbook, a how to win at life guide that must have gotten lost in the mail before it got to you. They all seem to know exactly what they're doing. They're checking off boxes on a life list that you can't even find. They have the promotion. They have the perfect, photogenic partner. They have the apartment that looks like a magazine, not, a place where you're just trying to keep a single houseplant alive. And let's be honest, it's not looking good for Fernie. We start building this story in our heads. A story where we are the only one who feels lost, the only one who's still figuring it out, the only one who still has to check their bank account before ordering pizza. And here's the thing, our brains are wired for this. We're social creatures. We're hardwired to look around to see what the rest of the tribe is doing to survive. Back in the day, that was useful. Oh, Grok found a good berry bush. I should probably go see what Grok is doing. But today, our tribe isn't the 50 people in our village. It's the 8 billion people on the planet, all curated into this little glowing rectangle in our hands. And we're not just seeing their berry bush. We are seeing the filtered, angle-optimized, best day of their life version of their berry bush, which they're probably eating on a private jet. And that, right there, is the illusion. We are comparing our entire life. Our behind the scenes, our messy kitchen, our doubts, our I hit snooze 5 times mornings, to everyone else's absolute highlight reel. It's like comparing the chaotic making of documentary of our own life to someone else's perfectly edited movie trailer. So if you have ever felt that falling behind feeling, let me just say this first. Take a deep breath. You are not alone. In fact, that feeling is probably the most shared, most universal, and most human experience we all have right now. It's a trick. It's a magic show. It's a mirage in the desert. We think we're seeing the whole picture, but we're only seeing the tiny, shiny, polished corner of it. We're seeing the result, not the process. And we definitely aren't seeing what's holding that whole illusion up. We don't see the self-doubt. We don't see the 100 rejections they got before that one yes. We don't see the loneliness. And most of the time, we don't see the crushing, invisible price tag that's hiding just out of frame. Because let's be honest, that price tag is almost always hiding. I mean, take that story about the coworker in Italy. Let me tell you about my version of that. I had this guy I worked with a few years back. We were on the same team, same salary, same everything. We'd both complain about the price of coffee in the cafeteria, Just normal. And then one day, he posts the photos. It was a 2-week-long epic trip to Italy. He's at the Four Seasons. He's eating at restaurants with names I can't even pronounce. He flew first class. And here I was, just sitting on my couch, dumbfounded. I was scrolling through these pictures, and my brain just couldn't do the math. I knew his salary. I knew my salary. And I knew that I was currently trying to figure out if I could afford to order takeout for the 3rd time this week. Spoiler, I couldn't. How on earth was he doing this? Did he have a secret trust fund? Did he win a small lottery? Did he rent a private jet for an Instagram photo and then secretly fly home and coach? I couldn't figure it out. So when he got back to the office, all suntanned and relaxed, I had to ask. I tried to be casual. Dude, that trip looked unbelievable. How did you pull that off? And he just kind of laughed, a little awkwardly, and said, "Oh, you only live once, right?" But then, a few weeks later, the real story came out. Turns out, he'd just gone through a really bad breakup. He was heartbroken, he was angry, and he just wanted to make his ex jealous. He wanted to post a life that looked so amazing, so incredible, that she would be overwhelmed with regret. And what was the price tag for that perfect, jealousy-inducing post? $15,000. in credit card debt. Poof. Just like that, the magic was gone. He wasn't ahead of me. He hadn't found the secret handbook. He had just made a very human, very emotional, and very expensive choice. He traded his future financial peace for a temporary 2-week win on social media. And that's when it clicked for me. We live in a world that screams at us to show off. We're rewarded for visible wealth, the car you drive, the watch on your wrist, the logo on your t-shirt. These aren't just things anymore. They're status symbols. It's like being a peacock. We flaunt our big, fancy feathers to show how awesome we are, to feel validated, to attract a mate. But here's the problem. Unlike a peacock, who has to earn his feathers, we have credit cards. We have the magic, dangerous ability to buy things with money that we do not have. We can look like we're winning long before we've even started the race. And the data backs this up. As of 2024, the average American household is carrying over $7,200 in credit card debt. That's a lot of fancy dinners and weekend getaways that weren't really in the budget. It's all just signaling. And here's the wildest part. The actual millionaires, the people who really have the money, most of them are not playing this game. There's a famous book called The Millionaire Next Door, and the author discovered that most of the millionaires he surveyed were the opposite of flashy. They drove secondhand cars. They lived in normal neighborhoods. They shopped at regular stores. They looked like your neighbor. Why? Because they understood the secret. They knew that looking rich and being rich are almost always two different things. They knew it's more important to actually build financial security than to just signal it to a bunch of people you're trying to impress. So, when you see that perfect post, that flashy car, that designer bag, just remember my coworker. Remember that you're probably not seeing wealth. You're seeing spending. And that's a very, very different thing. So, it's clear that what we see, that flashy car, that perfect vacation, is often just a mirage, probably paid for with a ton of debt. And it is so easy to get distracted by their illusion that we forget to work on our own reality. If you're ready to stop watching everyone else's highlight reel and start creating your own, I have something for you. It's my new ebook, 30 Days to a Better You. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a simple step-by-step guide to help you build the real, invisible habits that lead to a life you're truly proud of. If you're ready to focus on your race, the link is right in the description. Okay, so debt is one part of the illusion, but what about the other part? So we've got these perfect posts, right? The ones that are often paid for with a mountain of debt. But there's another, even more subtle reason why everyone looks like they're doing better than you. It's not always about debt. Sometimes it's just about editing. Think about your own life. Think about your average Tuesday. You wake up. Maybe you hit snooze. Maybe 3 times. You make coffee. You sit in traffic. Or you log onto your computer from the kitchen table, still in your pajama bottoms. You answer emails. You eat a sandwich, that's fine. You do your work. You sign off. You figure out what to make for dinner. You watch a show. You go to bed. Did you, at any point during that day, think to yourself, wow, I must take a selfie right now. The world needs to see me replying to this very standard email. Chuckles, probably not. No one is actively taking pictures of themselves walking into their 9-to-5 job for the 800th time. No one is recording a dramatic video of them paying their electric bill or flossing or, waiting for the microwave to beep. Why? Because it's normal. It's our day-to-day. It's not different. It's not special. It's just life. But what happens when you do something that isn't normal? What happens when you're finally on that vacation you saved 6 months for? Or you buy that one expensive thing you've been eyeing? Or you just go to a really nice dinner for an anniversary? That's when it happens. That's when we wipe off our phone's camera lens. That's when we suddenly turn into professional photographers. We're all about the angles. We're finding the light. Wait, take it again. I blinked. Can you get one from a little higher up? Ooh, let's do a cheers boomerang. It's just human nature. We're wired to capture and share the moments that are different from our regular, everyday lives. And because we're also wired to seek validation from other people, we want our friends and family to see us doing cool things. We tend to share those pictures. We put them on social media. And suddenly, what is your social media feed? It is nothing but a constant scrolling highlight reel of everyone's best, most exciting, most expensive, and most different moments. It's the vacation. It's the proposal. It's the new car. It's the fancy dinner. It's the win. There is nothing inherently wrong with this. It's fun to share good moments. But the problem starts when we forget what we're looking at. We scroll through this endless reel of everyone else's best stuff, and we internalize it as their normal. We start to believe this is just their life, and that's why it seems like everyone is living it up and spending a ton of money all the time. They're not. They just aren't posting the other stuff. They're not sharing the bad stuff. They're not posting the picture of them working overtime to afford that one nice thing. They're not posting a selfie of them looking stressed out while they pay off their credit card bill. Slightly confessional tone. I mean, even for me, right? I try not to record videos when I have a huge pimple on my face. But sometimes you just can't hold off recording forever. Thanks everyone for pointing them out, by the way. Super helpful. The next time you find yourself doom scrolling, the next time you see one of those posts and feel that little pang of jealousy, just acknowledge it. It's okay to feel that way. But then you have to remind yourself, nobody is sharing their normal life. Nobody is posting their everyday struggles, their boring moments, or the chaos that's happening right behind the camera. So please, please, do not measure your financial picture or your life's success based on what you see on social media. It's like comparing a picture-perfect movie trailer to the actual, messy, chaotic, and very real behind-the-scenes footage of your own life. They're just not the same thing. So you're doing it. You're being responsible. You're not falling for the debt trap. You're ignoring the highlight reels, and you're quietly putting your money away. And let me just be the first to say, it can feel, well, really unglamorous, right? This brings us to the biggest and maybe the quietest piece of the whole puzzle, the secret wealth nobody can see. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard me say over and over that one of the best ways to build real, lasting wealth is by consistently investing for the long term. And if you've actually been doing that, good for you, by the way. It means a huge part of your spending is, well, invisible. And that is the central problem. Think about it. You can't exactly roll up to a party, grab a drink, and say, hey everyone, check out the amazing asset allocation in my Roth IRA. It's fire. You can't show off your 401k at a barbecue. You can't post a selfie with your high-yield savings account. I mean, you could, but you'd get some very strange looks. And it gets tough. It really does. You're sitting there trying to do the smart, patient, grown-up thing while you hear everyone around you talking about the latest gadgets, the new gizmos, the must-have whatevers. I remember this so clearly. When all my close friends and I started working our first real corporate jobs, the lifestyle creep was almost instant. Suddenly, no one was wearing the stuff we wore in college. It was all upgrades. Banana Republic, J. Crew, adult clothes. And then one of my friends bought a brand new shiny black Audi. We were 3 months into our new jobs. 3 months. And then there was me. I was just quietly trying to figure out how to max out my 401k. I was trying to understand what an HSA was and why I should put money in it. I was still wearing my old clothes. I still had my old cracked screen phone. And I would always get the comments. Dude, it's time for an upgrade. Vince, when are you going to get a real car? And I won't lie, it was hard. I felt like the boring one. I felt like I was missing out. I felt behind. But let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to today. All that boring, invisible spending I was doing. The money disappearing from my paycheck before I could even touch it and going into these investment accounts. That is what gave me the freedom to do what I'm doing right now. It's what gave me the financial security to leave that job I wasn't a fan of and to start my own media company. And you know what's funny? Those same friends, they're now the ones asking me for advice. Hey, what should I invest in? How can I make more money? How do I get started? Oh, and that one guy with the Audi. Last I heard, he's still paying off his car loan. There's this incredible take on this in the book The Psychology of Money. The author, Morgan Housel, says it perfectly. Wealth is what you don't see. Let that sink in for a second. Wealth is not the car. It's not the designer clothes. It's not the fancy vacation. That is spending. That is money gone. True wealth is the savings you have in the bank. It's the investments that are quietly growing for you while you sleep. It's the financial security. It's the peace of mind. It's the options that come from having money you didn't spend. So the next time you feel that pull, the next time you're tempted to splurge just because it feels like everyone else is, I want you to remember that. What you see is almost never the full story. True wealth often grows in the dark. Your boring, invisible investments, they may not be Instagram worthy. You can't take a selfie with your compound interest. But trust me, one day in the future, you'll look back and you'll realize it was the most exciting and the most powerful choice you ever made.